Look what I can do. Yee-haw, yee-haw, yee-haw. So this right here on the right here, is actually where I took my first ride on the street. Down that road right there. Right down in there, and yeah, dude. For the very first ride, I had 3 cars back out of the driveway in front of me, and 2 dogs run out at me and try to eat me. Yeah, first ride ever on the public street. I guess it was good. I looked at it as good training because, shoot, I'm lugging. I looked at it as good training because, you know, there's a lot of hazards. A lot of hazards in the, she didn't wave at me. She didn't like me. She used to walk with her dog, and every morning I went to work, her dog would freak out. Alright. So this right here, gentlemen, was the hardest turn for me to make when I was a noob. I'm still a noob. Still don't know much. But now I know. Dude, set yourself up right. Making right turns from stop is crazy. Because you got this tight little spot, and if you go into that oncoming traffic right there, it's a 50-mile-an-hour road. It's going to hurt. So if you swing it wide like that, and there's an oncoming car, you're going to freak the fuck out! And you're going to drop the brake, and you're going to get hurt. Band-Aid ain't going to fix that. Do you really need a tiny little bike for your first bike? So there's many equations that go into that. One, your maturity level, your responsibility level. If you got none, you need to go with a smaller bike. If you have some maturity, if you have some responsibility, if you have some respect for the frickin' beast you got, you can get whatever size bike you want as long as you can physically feel comfortable physically holding it up at a stop. If you cannot do that, don't buy it, right? Because you got to hold the weight of the bike. Now, they are balanced perfectly, but sometimes at red lights, you get unbalanced, right? So if you can't physically hold that joker up, and it's really not a whole lot of weight, we'll show you right here. When we get to a stop, it's really not. Like, I could do it with my tippy toes. And this is a 640-pound bike. I mean, I flat-foot it, so it's okay. You don't have to flat-foot a bike, also, for it to be your first bike. But, let's go back to the conversation at hand. Road's wet. That sucks. Look both ways. And get that turn on. Oh, yeah. Get a speeding ticket. Now that car behind me was hanging. I don't know what it is, but he was fucking hanging. He hung with me. He was doing it. He was getting on it. All right. So yeah, the weight of the bike, make sure you can physically handle the weight. Okay. My first bike ever, and I've only been riding for 14 months now, 15 months, and y'all can see that. Y'all seasoned riders will see that in the in my riding abilities. My first bike was a Softail Slim Special, 110 twin cam Screaming Eagle. Woo! It was like a 1790 or 1810 cc engine, like 680 pounds. First bike ever, dudes. First bike ever. Well, and what is that, man? I can't tell because my mirrors are all. I want to see what it is. Oh, it's a Lexus, man. He held good. Is it a Lexus? No, that's a Mercedes. He held up good when we went. I give him a nod. Yeah, peckerhead. But that bike was huge, heavy, the tank. Now, granted, I waited till I was 38 years old. I had a lot of responsibility before I ever got on a bike. I wanted me a little rocket ever since I was, I don't know, 18, 19 years old. But I knew at that time of my life, I didn't have the responsibility and respect that was needed for a motorcycle. Now, when I talk about responsibility and respect needed, that doesn't mean you can't have fun on the bike. You can always have fun on the bike, right? You just got to ride within your limits. So, one of the other things that matter on what size bike you get first, are you going small or are you just going for the bike you want, is your budget, dudes. Your budget. Yeah, the bigger bike's going to cost more right off the bat, more capital up front than the small bike. But the small bike, if you don't have unlimited funds, you have to buy the small bike, $3,000 or $4,000, somewhere around there, depending on what model you get. Then you're going to outgrow that bike. In 2 months, you're going to outgrow it. So if you don't have extra, capital on top of that, you're going to have to sell that thing in order to get your next bike. So now, not only is it about money, it's about time. Time. All right, so let's say you start off on a 400, right? You get used to that joker in the first month. You're like, dang it, I should have got the 6. I should have got the 6. So now you're spending time. We got a bump in the road right here. Now you're spending your time trying to sell this bike. You got to find another noob rider, because most people don't want to go back down. Some do, most don't. We'll go back down. So now you've dropped $2,000 to $3,000. Let's just call it $3,000. Now you got to get someone to buy that. Depending on your riding skill, if you drop that bike or not, you're not going to get what you paid into it out of it. So you're going to take a loss of money there. Then you're going to go get yourself a 600 or a 650 or a 750. Are you going to jump right to a leader bike? Some people do, some people don't. Leader bike, if we're talking Cry Dragons leader bike, you might want to get a couple more months under your belt on 2 wheels before you jump into a leader bike. Well, unless you can obviously respect the power. So in the long run, you'll end up spending more money for what you could have gotten to right off the bat. Now, I'm not advocating everyone goes out there and just buy the biggest damn bike that they see. Oh, I want that Busa. I'm getting that Busa. No, I ain't never rode a motorcycle before. I rode a bicycle before. No. That's not what this is about. What I'm saying is if you can legit respect the bike that you're on, go for it. What I mean by that is I literally rode around the neighborhood. I showed you that street that I went and learned on. I literally did that for the first week. That's it. Riding through the neighborhood, 30 miles an hour. Practicing that stop signs, practicing going forward, changing gears, making mistakes on a residential 30-mile-an-hour street instead of making my mistakes here on a state highway at 70 miles an hour in traffic where something's going to splatter you. Right? That's what I mean about respecting it. And you also got to keep an eye out for fools. Fools are all over the place. Let me get over. I got to get to work. Whoop, speeding. So there you go, gentlemen. My quick thoughts. It's a quick ride to work, so my quick thoughts on what size bike do you get. I started on a 110 cubic inch Harley Softail Slim Special, and literally 6 months later I'm on the FXDR. Well, 6 months later I bought the FXDR. Mr. Two Wheels, you need to get out of my way. There you go. I bought the FXDR, which is a 114, and I freaking love this thing. No, I do not ride it to its fullest capabilities, right? I've only got 14, 15, maybe 16 months of riding, so I'm still respecting the beast, but I'm also allowed to have fun riding within my limits. My limits, yeah, my limits allow me to have fun. They really do. Oop, wet paint. Don't want to fucking slip out on that. Hey. All right, gentlemen. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you liked my very first moto vlog ever. Hopefully it recorded good. And we'll see you in the next video.